Hello everyone, TinaGAle back with another sketch from Nuts About Sketches. This is for the week of February 8th, and today is a two-page layout, and I decided to pull some of my Simple Stories sweater weather paper out to do these photos. This was from our recent trip in September of this last year. And it was the first time that we got to go and see the fall decorations and stuff. And so I had a lot of photos from just the main street in the Magic Kingdom. And so what I'm starting out with is my background paper is some Echo Park paper from the Happy Camper line. It was some of the cut-apart sheets. And I've used most of the paper, and I really love this polka dot. And so I just decided to use it as background paper and quit hanging on to it for the other side. And so that's from Echo Park, and everything else is from Sweater Weather other than some of the sticker sheets. And so I started out with these two patterned papers, and I had cut some strips, and then I decided I wanted something to break it up. So I pulled my pack of paper out and pulled the rest of the patterned paper, and I really liked that yellow paper, and it would have worked really well. The other two I didn't care so much about. But I end up going with this floral here. And there's the yellow side. I really do like that. And it probably would have maybe even worked better since the photos and everything are so busy. And I end up messing up anyways, but I'm happy with the layout. I really like the way it turned out, and it could be too, just the photos. I just love these photos. The park was so pretty. So, okay, so I just cut two wide strips of the floral, and then I have the bottom strips are about 1.5 inches wide. And so I'm kind of laying my photos out to see if I have enough of a barrier between my photos to kind of break it up, top and bottom. And then I start thinking about doing a border or maybe flipping it over and doing the polka dot. And so when I flipped it over, my intentions were to scalloped punch the polka dot there and to split it between the other two floral papers. But as you can see, I picked up the wrong piece of paper and punched it, and so I just went with it. So what I ended up doing was just pulling the paper up away from the bottom, and so I have some of the background paper showing below, and then I picked that polka dot up and raised it up a little bit onto the floral paper. Does that make sense? So then I ended up with, it kind of looks like 4 strips of paper down there in the end. So it worked out just as well. You know, I'm still happy with it, but I did not intend to do it that way. And so once I have all that kind of adhered down, and then I go ahead and do my photos. Now these photos I printed with my selfie printer. If you're curious about that, I did a video back a month or so ago where I did a short little blurb about how I pull my photos into an app to put 2 photos together on one sheet. And so that's the way most of those are done. I pull 2 photos in to make 2 3x4 photos together, and then printed them off. And then since I had just a little bit left over, I actually cut one set apart so that one each is there's one on each side of the page. Hopefully that makes sense. So that way I just had a good collection of all of those, and pretty much all of those photos are from the square when you first walk in to Disney, and they have all of these scarecrows that are representing the different shops on Main Street. So I tried to get all of them. I'm not sure if I did or not. I think I have a photo of all of them. I have so many photos from here. I don't think I'm going to be able to scrap them all. And then the last set with the Mickey and Minnie were some of the windows on Main Street, and I actually have more of those because the candy store had Donald and Daisy in their window, and so they're dressed up in their little Halloween costumes. And then on the corners were Chip and Dale in the little pumpkins, and so I had to include that because I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to scrap any more of these photos or get them done, or if this was going to be it. And then the photos that I'm adhering now were at the entrance and then going out, the decorations that they had over the walkway and the pumpkins, and it said "See you real soon." So I had my husband stand there so I could take that, and then the wreaths that were all along Main Street with the Mickey pumpkin heads were so cute. And then the other side was one of the stores. I have more photos because each one of the stores had pumpkins that were carved with the decoration that went with that particular theme of that store. So I have a lot of those. Hopefully I can get those done too. And then the very, very entrance was all decorated up underneath the monorail, so I had a photo of it. And so now what I'm doing is I have the sticker sheet from Simple Story Sweater Weather, and I'm just pulling off everything that I think will work for the embellishments. I'm going to pretty much follow the sketch into where the main embellishments go. I veer off just a little bit, but not a lot. The sketch shows a banner on the left side, and I wanted some journaling space, and I have these cards that were on the cut apart sheets that I needed to use, and this particular card had a banner across the top, but then lots of room for journaling. So I decided to use that in place of the banner instead of making a banner, and then I can journal, and then I'm going to use these sticker sheets as my title pretty much, some of the word stickers. And so I have a pumpkin and then these flowers, and I pretty much just kind of arrange them until I'm happy with them. Some of them, the bigger pieces like the pumpkin and the large flower that I'll put on the top, those pieces I used foam tape to pop those up, and that little wreath on the right hand side, I pop dotted that up. And so that little word sticker there, the Autumn Splendor, is going to be part of my title. And the little polka dot strips that I tucked behind the photos on the top, that was from the branding strip of one of the papers, and it was laying on my table, and I decided I wanted a little bit of that red up there on the top to help carry your eye across, because there is so much going on this page. There's a lot of photos. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There's 15 photos if you count all those individual ones, the small ones. So that's a lot going on a double page. But like I said, I wanted to really get a lot of these scrapped because it was our first time and it was just so pretty. I just love fall anyway, so it was perfect. Okay, so I'm just finishing up with these little stickers, and then I'm going to go through my stash and look for any other embellishments. I'm going to pull some enamel dots, and then I have some little flowered buttons, and they're retired from Close to My Heart. I had these brads. I had some things pulled that matched my paper that I thought I would use, but by the time I did all the stickers, I really didn't need any of the other stuff, so I just kept with the enamel dots. I put some in the center of the flowers, and just a couple on the sticker sheets, or the word stickers, but not much, mostly in the flowers. And then, like I was saying, these little buttons here, they're brown, but they're in the shape of flowers, and they're a retired Close to My Heart product. And so I had stuck one up there to kind of see how it looked. I wasn't quite sure if it was going to go well or not, if it was too dark, if it was going to get lost in all of it. But in the end, I really thought that I liked it. So I took some twine and just tied through it to kind of help draw your attention more to those so that they didn't get too lost. And I put one on the top of the flower that was down towards the bottom instead of an enamel dot on that one, just to add some extra texture and dimension down there, because it was kind of all flat since all of those stickers were flat. I had pop dotted the pumpkin, but it was still just really flat looking down there. And now looking at it, I think it would be really cute if I took that twine and put a bow around the pumpkin stem, and maybe that would help, because that was one thing. The stem just, it's like it's gone. You can't see it, and so you can't really tell what that pumpkin is. So the last thing I did was take my date stamp and put that on the page, and then I'm ready to do my journaling, and this one's finished. So I hope you enjoyed it. Here are some still shots so that you can see some of the details. Remember, all of the information will be below the video and also on my blog, tiggerscrapplace.blogspot.com. You can see all of the details there. Thanks so much for joining me, and we'll catch you next time.